All right, we're live. What's up, Lindsay Stevens?
How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. So this is our official, second or third real one, but official launch of the Show Up podcast with Jeff Bonk and Lindsay Stevens. We've recorded a couple. The first one, I didn't show up at all. My recording didn't work. The second one, we were kind of just talking and BSing. But here we are officially to say, we're starting something new. We're going to have some fun with it. And Lindsay and I just love hanging out and sharing ideas. So we figured, why not do it in a venue where we can share and bring in new people and have guests and talk about new topics. And so we're here, Show Up Podcast. What's the Show Up Podcast to you, Lindsay? What are we doing here?
Well, I think we're showing up, right? We're learning. This is the first time we're doing something new, which is exciting. And I think we always have to be pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones. And that's what you and I are doing here on this podcast. But showing up to me is like a multitude of things. I think people always ask, like, how can I be more successful? How can I do better in life? How can I evolve in life and business? And I typically will answer show up.
Right.
And I think it's just putting yourself in the room, putting yourself in the place, putting yourself in the arena for opportunities and just saying yes. And I always say, if a door opens, walk through it. So that's what right. I'm doing here today.
I love it. I love it. I named this thing when I twisted Lindsay's arm. I named it the Show Up Podcast because it's one of her favorite catchphrases. And I'm like, if I name it the Show Up Podcast, she definitely can't say no to doing this with me, even though I don't think she was going to say no anyway. But the tagline, show up, build big, live full. Like all the things that, we're both real estate team leaders. We both sold a ton of real estate, invested in it, built teams, obsessed with growth and involvement of both ourselves, our families, and our organizations. But like what comes through all that is that we continue to show up. We continue to try to build big things. And we continue right now. I'm at the beach and she's in the mountains with our families, and we're living full, right? We're doing it all. We're trying to balance it all. We're trying to, continue to evolve how we're showing up and how we're doing things. And that's what we're doing here today too, right? But this is a new idea, a new concept. It's something that we just want to have some fun with, call it a passion project, potentially even. But we're going to bring people on. We're going to have guests. We might have people present things. We might have do live events in the Northeast. We've been talking about doing events together in the Northeast and bringing people together to continue to grow and evolve. We might do more presentation style, more conversation style. Might be the two of us BS in one week, and the next week have one of the top coaches, trainers, team leaders, whatever on teaching something valuable. So all we're here to do is we're committed to bringing value to the community and having fun. That's kind of how I would sum up what the plan is for this brand, for this organization, for this idea. Anything else on your side?
I think we're going to be real, raw, honest. I think that's the only way I know how to be, and you too. I want to be transparent about what's happening in the industry in real time as things are unfolding, right? Talking about things, helping agents be prepared for what's ahead, what's around the corner, what we're seeing, the struggles we're having in building teams and scaling teams and building agents and scaling agents, and like just having a real candid combo.
I love it. So now that we got that out of the way, and that's who we are, what we're doing here, and that'll change week to week, month to month as things evolve and grow, just keep bringing value and having cool conversations. Let's talk a little bit today just about where we are. We're July 1st, leading into the 4th of July weekend. I always find I like this weekend. It might be like, I like Thanksgiving a lot because the football and all the food and all the like low pressure without gifts. Christmas is awesome now, especially with young kids, because they get so excited, but I don't love gift giving and getting. So like, it's not my love language. So, but 4th of July, it's summer kickoff. You've got like 2 months coming of trips and travel and beaches and mountains and like all this, like doing all the fun outdoors stuff, especially here in the Northeast, like peak season for it. It's a celebration. Everyone celebrates, right? Like everyone, it's not religious. It's not like regional. It's a big party. Everyone's got red, white, and blue up. But it's also the midway mark of the year. It's like the time to stop and think about where we came from, what we did in the first half, what happened, what's going forward, what's in store for us for the rest of the year. So it holds like lots of meanings to me, this kind of day and long weekend. So I just wanted to have a conversation about what we're seeing, what we're feeling, what our agents are feeling, what our organizations are feeling, and where we think the rest of this year goes, and things we've learned, things we're planning on doing, and we've got everything in between. So I think kicking it off for me, at least, is summer schedules, like coming out of like the spring market where you're more organized, there's routine. And now, like I mentioned before, like you're in the mountains, I'm at the beach. not in our homes in different places and trying to manage it all at the same time. So what's happening with you day to day? I know your girls are older, they're traveling, you got all kinds of craziness. How's that showing up? And talk to me a little bit about your
Well, first of all, I wore my red and white shirt for you today because USA won
yes.
last night.
Woo!
And and I also love 4th of July too. We're up in the mountains. We were doing mountain things yesterday, which is mostly like opening a cabin in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And Bruce had Dave Matthews blasting, and I was like, oh, summer is just here. That's what it feels like. And it also feels nice because it gives you an opportunity to sort of reset, which also I think is a blessing and a curse for a lot of people
Yeah.
because you really start losing that routine and losing the ability to stay disciplined when you have to get your kids on the bus and get to the office at 8 o'clock. But I also think, like I'm a like a comeback kid. So I love the second half of the year because I
Yeah.
feel like it gives everybody an opportunity to lock back in, reflect on what happened in the first half, like rate yourself in various areas of your life and business. What can you tweak? What can you refine? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to keep doing? It gives you an opportunity to just audit yourself. And then I tell everybody, like, there is somebody that's not even on the roster yet that could come into this organization and literally run the board because there's 6 months left, there's plenty of runway. And so I think no matter if you're having a good year, a great year, you're in the middle, there's so much opportunity for everybody, all agents right now, to just like put their foot on the gas and full tilt into the rest of the year because a lot of agents, I say, they furlough themselves come summer.
Yeah,
They just stop working.
absolutely. And what you just said to me, talking about the fall is like a fresh start of like everyone could reset and jump off from one common place. A lot of people I don't feel like look at it that way. They look at like they're behind, like they can't catch up. But that's just a mindset shift. And that mindset shift puts you into different activities. If you look at things different, what do we call this? I stole it from you and I say it all the time now when it's like everyone else is slowing down and you can stay full tilt.
Separation season.
Separation season. It slipped my mind. I say it all the time. The summer it could be many things. It could be separation season if you're a new agent or someone looking to grow like crazy, where you could do the work, where other people are starting to downshift and take some time back, like, and by design or not by design. If people are coming off the gas, it could be separation season, or it could be, take some rest, recoup. You just crushed the spring, had a crazy. We talked a few weeks ago about people that didn't increase their goals on your team and how you admired that because they wanted to have more vacation, more time with their family, and they purposefully were doing that. So one or the other, like summer brings those pieces, those different ways to engage it and either leverage it or for growth or leverage it for recharge. And something that you said early too with the getting the kids routine, all that stuff. I did a training last week, and then my coach this morning reminded me of it: non-negotiables versus perfect schedules, where it's weird. It's almost like the coach needs to hear it as well. Like I'm coaching other people, and then I was like, he brought that to me, like, damn it, I just did a training on this 2 days ago, and I needed to hear it for myself.
You have to be fluid.
It's
Just
so
move.
yeah, but have your non-negotiables that every day or 5 days a week. I'm going to do 1 hour of this or 30 minutes of that. If it's social media, prospecting, cold calling, whatever it is, one open house a week, whatever your non-negotiable is. But then also identify what your perfect day is. If I have a full day, all the kids are off at camp, husband or wife's out of town, out of the house, and I have a quiet house, what would I do? So you have that plan, so that day doesn't show up and you're just like, what am I focused on? What am I working on? What's my priorities even? So it's spending like 10, 15 minutes, honestly, just identifying what can I do to keep the rhythm that's easy, light. I can non-negotiably do this every day. And then what can I do if and when I get those big gaps once a week, twice a week, whatever it is to work on. And that's what I like about summer too, is kind of that fluidity,
Yeah,
flexibility, and different workflow for a few months.
totally. And I think you have to look at where you are. I think you have to look at did you how do you feel like you did rate yourself in a multitude of places, right? In travel, in adventure, in relationships, business, production, lead gen, follow up, all these different areas. Like, how would you rate yourself? And If it's excellent, sure, leverage yourself, take time, recharge. If it's not, if you're a 2 out of 10, what can you do in your control to change the outcome? And like, what do you need to do every single day to ensure that you're moving the needle forward? And then I think it goes back to like something deeper, which is why is it important to you? Because if it's not important to you, you're not going to do it.
Right.
And I have this like love hate relationship with time blocking and building calendars because I believe the majority of agents don't follow them. Therefore, you're creating a
Yeah.
habit of quitting,
Yep.
right? I've talked about that a lot. I'm like, rather than doing all these big lavish blocks that some influencer told you need to be doing, like scale it back and accomplish it. Do it. Have 5 meaningful conversations instead of 20. And then after you have 5, have 6. After you have 6, have 7. So I think there's just like, there's so many great ways to reflect on the business right now. And, I'm a runner and I run from the back of the pack always, like
Yeah. Right.
always.
Yeah.
I let
Right.
everybody go out super fast, probably like you did in
Oh,
your first 5K. The
intentionally.
gun went off. You went out like going to win it. And
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. And then did not. I did finish 700th out of 2,500 people, which I was really excited about. I was like, I'm
that's
happy I
really good.
finished the race. My biggest thing is I didn't want to walk because I'm just not in running shape. 3 miles is actually like kind of a struggle for me to run without needing a second for the joints, the knees, the things, big frame here. But yeah, I didn't walk and I finished in the top third or quarter almost. So excited about that. But I love what you just said in so many different ways. And um, what was it that you just? Oh, there was one piece that I wanted to kind of drill it deeper on for a second.
Well, because you're a runner, I'm going to share something with you. If you start out slower in a race, we call it negative split running,
Mm,
you actually have the ability to run a faster second half than you ever first half. And the majority of people go out way too fast and then their mileage starts like their time starts increasing because they gas themselves out in the
yeah,
first half. So I like get to every starting line. I look around. I'm like, I want you, I want you, I want you, but I'll see you in the second half. And sure enough, all those people that I'm like, they're doing leg swings, they're sprinting, they're doing all the things. I'm like, I'm taking you down. But in the second half, you always see the people. And it makes me think about business because most people go out super duper hard. And it's the second half of any race or year or business where they start getting tired
yeah,
and they start taking their foot off the gas. And this is why I call it separation season, because I'm a slow and steady girl in business and in running. Like I just like check my heart rate, I check my pace, I check how do I feel, what's happening around me. And I just grind. Like I just slowly will tuck behind people and grind. And eventually you'll start picking people off little by
totally.
little by little because people get tired. And so I always say rather than like going out super hard in business and in the first of the year and just stay like very consistent.
Yep.
And life and schedules can be fluid and calendar blocks can be moved and like does not have to happen at 9:30 on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Right.
It just needs to happen.
So
So that's my spiel on running and business.
I love that, and I think what you said about smaller time blocks, smaller commitments, and movable. Whenever I'm working with an agent that's stuck or needs to kind of reset, I talk about two things. One, we're going to lower the bar. So I don't want to hear about your 20, like you said, I don't want to hear about 20 conversations if we're doing 0. I want to hear about 5, maybe 3,
One.
maybe 1, right? All the way down. Like what is unbelievably impossible not to achieve? Like you cannot not achieve this. It's so small, you will do it. There's no headwinds. And number 2 is I always have them put it early in the morning. Put it on your calendar in a time block. Put it for 4 a.m., 5 a.m., like really early, like up there. So the day before, you just take it and you drag it down to wherever you know you're going to have time to do it. Because every day is going to be different. If we try to put it at 9 o'clock every day, look, in a perfect world, if that works, amen, great, good. But 90% of people I've seen, their calendars are wild. They have meetings, they have calls, they have appointments, they have kids, they have commitments. So put it early. And every day, all you do is when you're reviewing your calendar for the next day, you just drag down that block and make it small, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And now it has to be protected because it's small enough and it's movable every day. We have no excuse not to execute that small proactive activity that's going to drive us towards where we want to go, right? That non-negotiable. So I think that's a nice piece that we all can use sometimes. Sometimes a good time to really hone in on it and reset everybody with that.
How are you guys feeling? How's the market?
Not great. It's tight, man. We got no inventory and no sites of inventory coming. We had a little sprint in the second half of the spring where we had a bunch of listings, a lot of activity. I mean, we're squeezing deals out. It's happening, but it's a struggle, right? Like it's
Are you guys still like seller heavy market?
no
No, like, I mean, it's a seller's market, meaning
seller's
like,
market. Yeah.
yeah.
Very much so. I mean, people are paying premiums to keep things off the market, premiums to shut things down, especially in the Hoboken area. I mean, other markets are different. We have Florida as well, which is a different slower. But my personal book in the Northeast here is tight, and there's no signs of a lot of like inventory coming. How about you guys?
So we have 155 listings right now, which for our team is insane.
Oh, I
We've
thought you said
never
that. That's sick, man.
we've never had that many listings, but I do a deal doctoring session with my team, which is sacred for me. That's one thing I haven't been able to let go of yet. And we're feeling a lot of apprehension on the buy side, and there's a lot of inventory sitting and
Really?
price reducing, and we have a lot of inventory not moving too, because buyers have more to choose from, right? And they can be patient, and they're being picky, and they're kind of in the driver's seat at this point. I haven't really been able to identify, there's certain properties going into multiple offers and accelerating and being very, very aggressive. And then there's like a whole lot of them that just are not seeing the
Hmm.
activity that we've seen over the last 6 months. And some of them have features where it's like obvious, but some of them just, they're underpriced in very strong markets and they're still sitting. So this is happening very quickly in real time
As it always
for
does.
us.
Yep.
And so, I'm preaching a lot to the team about this is a market I understand agents start getting really discouraged in because it's hard on the listing side and it's hard on the buy side. Deals are dying, deals are falling apart, deals are taking forever, and it's just hard. And
Yeah.
I think agents haven't seen hard. They don't know hard. They
No.
don't
So,
know.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'd like to know what you. I have a question for you first, and then I have something that happened this week too that's similar. Do you think you're seeing it because more listings are coming on the market, or buyers have slowed down, or which one's stronger? I'm sure it's both, but
Well, it's interesting because we're a flex team and Zillow is delivering to our team in the month of July 730 connections,
that's
which
massive,
is the most we've ever seen. It will actually demolish our team because we're a team of
right?
45 agents.
20 per almost, right? Of
I
every
mean, just
100.
insane. The most connections we've ever had is 530. So it's 200 more connections for the month, which would tell you that the buyer demand is there.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is there's a lot of inventory. There's a lot. So you're saying we're seeing no signs, we're seeing tons of signs. We're going on, multiple listing appointments a week. We're listing multiple properties a week. We're listing like 15 properties a week,
Wow.
which is a lot,
Yeah.
stacked on top of 155 listings we already have. So,
So people are
which
selling.
is
Why are these people selling? Like, why are these people selling? And what, like, is there a new trend? Are they moving up? Are they moving out? Is the second homes going on the market? Investment properties going on the market? Is there any
I think
common theme to the new volume?
I think we're seeing a lot of down migration into like assisted living, downsizing, that sort of buyer, right?
Okay.
The elderly buyer that's moving on. We're seeing a little bit of people. We had an influx during COVID of people coming to the Hudson Valley.
Yep.
Some of that people going back to the city, and then I call it the golden handcuffs. Like I think sellers that have just been sitting, waiting for interest rates to drop, for prices to drop, are understanding it's not really happening. So, like the shackles of these handcuffs of the sellers have been released, and the floodgates just opened of sellers at the same time thinking, like, now's the time to do this, and we're going to list our property.
Wow. So first of all, if you see anything around the Bel Air Mountain, that's an opportunity. Let me know. We're still looking
Yep.
to put a flag into the ground there. I know it's a little outside your coverage area, but I think as you guys are growing, you're probably doing more everywhere. So keep me posted on that front, because that market has been hot until you just told me it wasn't hot. Like that's how crazy things turn so fast. So I misspoke a little bit. So Hoboken, Hudson County is insane. Monmouth County is insane. But there's a pocket kind of in between Middlesex County, Somerset County that seems to be slowing down a little bit. And one of our top agents actually brought up in the team meeting this week, hey, I'm starting to see this. Things are starting to stack up a little bit. Things are starting to get slower. And she's a newer agent, but also a top producer. So we had a conversation about that. And I can remember vividly, it was right before COVID, 2018, 19 area, where our market did that on a dime. It was like we would carry 3 to 5 listings, sell them, 3 to 5 listings, sell them when we were a small team. And we were just cranking. All of a sudden, we went like 15 listings, 20 listings. I'm like, what? Where are they? It happened in a week. And I know what? I think I was coaching with John Kitchens. I'm almost positive I was coaching with John Kitchens at the time. And I was talking to him about it. And it all comes down to managing expectations and conversations early as humanly possible, especially in this case with sellers, right? Because sellers, they only hear the narrative of market screaming. Everybody's getting multiple offers. They don't hear the other narrative, if it's out there or not. So it's our job. And how do we deliver that without? And I remember, this is coming back to me now. I was standing outside the back of our building. I was like, John, how do I give that narrative? They're looking for me to deliver, right? And I'm telling them the market's not so great. It's the first time I ever experienced a turn in the market. And he told me something. The synopsis of it is, you need to make sure they know that you are just on top of your shit. Like the market's turning, it's happening in real time. It could pick back up tomorrow. It can move the wrong way tomorrow. They could have more competition tomorrow. They could have less competition tomorrow. Rates may move here, rates may move there. Trends may start this, that, and like explain, like right now, this is what we're seeing. But we are so dialed in. I'm watching the market every single day. I'm going to be able to strategically drive you through this and help you guide through this. And there's going to be a lot of people that are just making believe the market's the old way, or panicking and telling people to move the other way, and just kind of making broad strokes of opinions as they're advising their clients. That's not what you're getting with us. You're getting someone who's so tied in, so dialed in, and you'll see that as we have conversations every day leading up to listing. You want to have this as early as possible. And I'll even use the example, like we might say, put $1 million on the listing agreement for 2 weeks from now. I might call you and say, hey, 3 places just flew off the market. It might be 1-1, or 3 places came in the market and sat in the last 7 days. We can list at $1 million still, but I think if we want to move in 30 days, we really need to be at 950. Right? That's the type of service you get with me. And I think, full circle, in markets that move and change, that's what our agents need to be doing way more proactively, and like come to Jesus type conversations, like level of intensity with their buyer or sellers early in the process. But
Yeah.
it's
And I think understanding data, which I think a lot of agents haven't had to pay attention to, because we've been just selling, 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 opening doors, writing offers, multiple offers, and you're still in that. So I'll give
yeah,
you we're not far from you, an hour and a half north, and we're seeing it shift like quickly in real time. And I just think you have to be paying attention to the data. You have to understand the inventory. How much of it is there? Like, what is the price points? And I tell all the agents, like, comps are great. Comps are irrelevant in a fast changing market.
yep.
What happened yesterday, 6 months ago, is not relevant to what's happening
Up or
now.
down, right? Like,
How many
yeah,
actives are there? What do they like? What's the competition look like? Where are they priced? Like, because if there's 20 Raised Ranch actives, we're like in Raised Ranch heaven in upstate New York. Like, we need to be the sparkliest, prettiest, and the cheapest of
yeah,
all of them. And just like being candid and having these tough conversations. And look, no matter what market you're in, I got licensed in the great real estate recession of '08. People still buy and sell, right? And it's like our job to connect people and be the solution to problems, and show up and put yourself in the position to be the person that creates the opportunity.
that's right.
And hard seasons, like, they flush out the people that don't belong in the business. And I think it's going to give agents an opportunity to really show their value, show their worth, right? And like be the professional that we say we want to be. Because
100%.
there's a lot of onesie twosies agents in the market that are not going to stay. They just can't stay in the business.
It's opportunity when things like this happen. I mean, every time the market turns, market changes. COVID, NAR settlement, new paperwork, new processes, markets moving up, markets moving down. It shows the real cream rises to the crop, because what you just said, it's strategy. We need strategy now. Like when you didn't need to price a home properly because 5 offers took it to wherever, or you just need to tell your buyers to put it in the highest number possibly that they could stomach. There's no strategy there. Right? That's an easy. It's like an easier market to navigate. Now we have to think more. We have to be more strategic, collecting more data points, bringing them together, help people come to a decision from a lot of different pieces of information, not just one. Put it on the market and let 5 offers carry it up. So I think you're so right, and it's teaching agents and like coaching the agents and staying with in rapport with our agents that it's okay. It's change. It's change. Change is supposed to be hard. I heard my favorite quote ever the other day. I forget where it was in one of these newsletters I prescribed to. It's not hard. No, it is hard because it's supposed to be hard. It was like talking to kids, like kids that are trying to learn things. My little guy gets super frustrated, and I stink. It's hard. I'm like, you don't. It's supposed to be hard. Like surfing is supposed to be, even though surfing wasn't hard for him. It was like a bad example, but a lot of things like new sports or whatever is hard, and he gets into this place. So talking to our agents, this is hard. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I don't have the skills. No. This is supposed to be hard. It's okay. Lean into it, accept it, and move forward. It'll become easier. It's by design.
You know what they say? Doing hard things creates an easy life.
Mm-hmm.
Doing easy things creates a hard life. And it's hard, but it's not that hard, right?
Yeah.
And so this is where discipline in your schedule and your calendar and your non-negotiables will give you the ultimate freedom regardless of the market, right? Talk to more people, solve more problems, be the resource for more of your community, show up more in places where the people are that could change your business. That's it. I mean, there's millions of people to talk to in this world, and just be the person that is there when they need you, right?
Yeah.
And so I always say, don't come at it from a place of like getting something from people. I've always just in this business, I've given everything I have to give. And if you transact with me, great. If you don't, great, right? Like the outcome, John Sheplack says, right? Be attached to the process, detached from the outcome. Like I've never been attached to the money ever, 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 and to the outcome.
Yeah.
I want to be a resource for people in life and in business. And if you ever transact in real estate, I hope I'll be your choice. That's it.
That is the 30-second commercial for the successful agent that is also like enjoying what they do. It has a business that they don't hate their clients, hate their day-to-day, hate all their stuff. Because I think you can be successful without that mindset. I've seen that kind of grind it out to the bone and convert every opportunity and churn. But you can make money and successful, but I've never seen one happy and enjoying that kind of business. The business where you just give, solve problems. I hope one day I can help you with something. I hope one day we can be in business together. I can help you through a transaction or someone that that's all great and well. I hope all that stuff happens. But regardless, I'm going to solve the problem that's in front of you today, have this conversation with you. And another quote that I've loved forever is your income is directly correlated to the size of the problems you solve, right? So solve little problems, right? Be a door opener, get a key out of a lockbox, just open a door, and that's the problem you're solving. You're going to make a little bit of money. But solve I don't know what to do. I'm not sure strategically how to handle this situation. I need you to help me kind of come and be an advisor, a consultant, guide me through the whole thing. You're solving a much bigger problem. You're going to have a bigger business, have a bigger paycheck. So I always kind of think about it. Like, how can my problems that I'm solving be bigger as well? I'm getting to conversations like that.
And back to showing up. It's like, just show up, right? Like it's the force of average. Like you will make the average of the opportunities you put yourself in. And I think a lot of agents predetermine the outcome, or they predetermine this person's a tire kicker. They're not serious. They're 12 months out. Instead of just listening and seeking to understand what is the problem they're trying to solve and then reverse engineer it. But I think I feel so grateful that I got licensed in 2009, because truly nothing was selling, zero. And it taught me how to stay with people and how to truly nurture relationships and love on people. And the longest client I ever nurtured was 10 years before they transacted. And I think that it's like a lost art in this business, the
Yeah.
power of nurturing relationships. I also didn't have Zillow. I didn't have my phone ringing. Like if I wanted to make money, I had to hunt
Go
for
deep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think we just have to get back into that mindset as real estate people is like, not everybody's ready to transact today, and that's fine. Like
No.
that's the power of nurturing relationships and like going deep with people. And I think, you said something earlier where when I sit down with anybody and I teach my team this, and it won't surprise you at all, being like moving with the market and understanding data and being able to advise and negotiate with circumstances in real time. I always tell people I play to win. Like if you hire me, if you hire my team, we play to win.
Yep.
And we just need you to trust us that we are going to advise you and we're going to tell you hard things and we're going to give you the information you need to hear, not that you want to hear. But in all of those, in everything we talk about in this process, like we're playing to win. And people are like, oh, I want to win. Yeah, I want to play to win. And like it makes having hard conversations easier because like the end game is to win
Right.
and to sit at the closing table and
Well,
markets change and adapt. Go ahead.
you set the tone. You set the tone with that conversation where now you have ultimate trust. Right? If people know what your overall agenda is and that their best interest at heart for them to win, for them to get to their ultimate goal, for you to facilitate whatever result they want, they're going to trust you infinitely more now. Now, like whenever you say something tough, they're going to, all right, this is coming from a place
Play
of
to win.
want me to win. Right. It's not coming from a place of trying to take the easy way out. It's trying to get to the win. Right. So I think that's an awesome sentiment. I really love that kind of concept there. And I think one other thing I'll add to that when you're having these hard conversations or when you're nurturing people and kind of like having these long-term conversations, we assume far too often that we know what people think. I was having a conversation a couple of days with somebody who is very financially well off. He's a client of ours, owns some properties, and didn't understand the capital gains that when they moved out of a property that they had 2 years to sell it to not have any capital gains exposure up to 500,000 for him and his wife. And I'm like, how did he not know that? He's got financial advisors, he's got tax advisors, he got all these different things. And now we're having a conversation. The property needs to probably get on the market given their tax strategy, and just wasn't on their radar at all. So I think a lot of times as we're doing these long-term nurtures, because I was like you, like no Zillow, open houses twice a weekend. If I got a lead a week from Remax, whatever network it was when we started, like that was a lot, right? And we were just really going deep, asking these questions, making sure in a non-pushy, non-threatening way, like really getting in a rapport, understanding what people have, what they want, what they need, like all those things, and not just, hey, you looking to buy today? No, cool. Next phone number, right? That's
It's a
what.
churn and burn mentality. And I blame like teams for that because
Yeah,
we just rain opportunities down on people and they probably miss a lot of gold by
yeah.
just going to the next, on to the next, on to the next.
And to
Yeah.
some degree, it's a different model. Like maybe now with as many leads that we have coming in, and we have to service them, we have to work on the top of funnel or bottom of funnel people now because there's enough of them. But when times get slow, when times get weird, when times it's not as crazy busy, and you're doing a deal a week or multiple transactions a week, can you go back to your database and find a handful of people to pull into your nurtures, into those long-term buckets where you are building, when you are building those long-term, databases that you're really, really in tune with. So I don't know, it's definitely a good conversation for this time of year and for this pivot.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
If you had to, if you're someone asked me this question, if your life depended on it and you had to transact on somebody in the next 90 days, how would you get the client?
I got 90 days. Can I pick multiple things, or is it one? Because I'm just doing everything. Like, go ahead, answer my question. Does it have to be one thing, or is that one thing only?
One thing.
I got 90 days to transact, though.
90 days to get a buyer
This is crazy.
or seller to close them.
I want to say this one thing, but I feel like there's a better answer. I think I
I
would
don't
do
think
it.
there's a better. I think there's like an answer for everybody.
I think I would do an open house every single day.
Love that.
7
We had
days
an
a week.
agent on our team that was just trying to do an open house every day for 100 days.
Because I want to get to the most bottom of funnel. I mean, all right. So what I would actually do is, because of our database, I would go into our database and I'd skim all the low hanging fruit that are just being ignored because we have so many hand raisers that were like driving back into ponds and back into agents. Like I would just go grab some of those. I'm sure I'd find one. I get or on Zillow Flex, I would just take 10, 15 connections this week. But if you don't have Zillow Flex and you don't have that kind of database, I would do an open house because you're meeting the most bottom of funnel buyers possible. And I do the ones during the week. I probably wouldn't get anybody at a lot of them, but anyone who did stumble into a weekday open house would be serious, out of this mind serious. And then, especially in the summertime, I wouldn't get a lot of volume in the Northeast, but people that come in would be so incredibly motivated. I think you're getting one of them under contract in 30 days if you do one a day for 30 days. It's almost guaranteed. What do you got? What do you answer? That's such a better answer. You leveraged the I didn't know we could leverage that our life depended on it. That changes the whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody scream. We're gonna kill me. Yeah, I love that. That is so funny. I love that exercise, asking all your agents that. I think we might. Tell Lindsay how you would do it. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I love that. Where else can we leave it better than that? All right. What's the plans for the fourth? What are you guys doing? You're up in the mountains. You have all. Oh, nice. Uh, like Macy's. Yeah. You're like, yeah. He's got like an unofficial show. Oh my God. I love him. I love him. All right. Steven's fireworks show. So we're going to go to a legal sanctioned official fireworks show. We're down here at the beach, so we're going to go to Sandy Hook and all those boats that are floating up the Hudson, the six tall ships or whatever. They're all hanging out in Sandy Hook Bay. So there's a couple little like restaurants over there. We're going to pop over to see the big ships today, and then we'll spend the weekend on the beach. The Borough boys are now obsessed with surfing this year, so it's going to be a surf-tastic weekend on the beach. And charge up and get ready to come back strong on Monday. Second half starts Monday. So, all right, Lance, say hi to the fam. We love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'm excited to keep rolling. We'll see what next week brings for this. Keep showing up. Big, build big, and live full. Peace.